Hello, it's Valerie from Shalebrook Handcrafted Soap in Moselle River, Nova Scotia. And this video today, I'm going to try to do a cold process breast milk soap. And the breast milk is from my daughter-in-law. She had an excess of it, so I'm going to use it. I'll be making these for her. So I've made a few and a couple of hot process, and you would have already heard the introduction to those. But if you're somebody that's just looking at this because you were looking for a cold process soap, I just wanted to go through the benefits that I found out about breast milk. I mean, we all know how fabulous it is for babies and how important it is for that colostrum. But some other things I found out about it that I've read, and I haven't experienced, but I've read, is that it can, because breast milk contains lauric acid, it can clear up acne and help with rosacea. Now, I found that interesting because my sister has rosacea, so I'll see if she wants to try one of these. But also, breast milk is an antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and it may help eczema. It's a natural conditioner for hair. It's a softener for skin. It is natural antibodies, which would be good for like mild sunburn, or it's good for minor wounds or bee stings, mosquito bites. It's fabulous for diaper rash, I've read. Some people have used it for conjunctivitis or pink eye, which I'm not recommending, but I've read that people have used that. It can help heal and help prevent infection. And the most it's used for, obviously, is for babies. It's the way God has designed the women's bodies for the health of the babies. But I've also read where they have breast milk banks, which can help people that have immune deficiency systems or older people. And I found that very interesting, and I think that's wonderful. It's full of vitamins, which are naturally produced, A, D, E, and all kinds of things that you might want to look up and check out. So like I said, I've already done this hot process, and I'm not a cold process soaper, really. I do cold process, but I'm not comfortable with it. And who knows what's going to happen with this batch this morning. But I like to use heat transfer when I do it, and the majority of my soaps were probably 90 to 95% hot process. But I do enjoy using the different mediums, and this would be one of those today. So this is a introductory, so that when I go to do it, the video doesn't take as long. And so in this today is castor oil, coconut oil, mango seed butter, kokum butter, olive oil, and palm oil. It has 4 ounces of breast milk. I've got some chia seed gel that I actually squeezed this time through a cheesecloth, and it worked pretty good. So I got the gel of that. And there's also going to be apricot oil in it, and aloe vera juice, and I used some icing powder. Instead of regular sugar this time, I added a tablespoon of icing sugar to the lye water. So we'll see how that works out. There's maple syrup in it, and I have 3% sodium lactate. So basically the lye water and aloe vera juice is minute. This is a 1 pound batch. It's about 2.25 ounces. And it's got a couple tablespoons of chia seed gel, which I actually added with the milk and yogurt. It's a tablespoon of yogurt in it. And what I'm going to do is, I hope to put these into my egg oval molds by doing a line pour. Now, I tried that yesterday with hot process, and it actually worked just lovely. The first one I did a kiss pour, and that didn't work out. But this one here is going to be a type of line pour, but instead of a regular mold, it's going to be in those silicone oval molds. So that's it. I hope you enjoy this cold process. And when my lye is ready, and I'm going to add it to my hard oils, because heat transfer, you mix the lye and add it hot to the hard oils. And then how I do it is I add my softened oils afterwards, and then I go from there and mix the rest of the stuff in. So we'll see you in a few minutes. So there's my hard oils, and I like to chop mine all up. I just find that heat transfer works much better for me. And I put my hot lye, once it's completely dissolved, in with that and mix that up first. Then I'll add my soft oils afterwards. So in here is my lye water, which is water and aloe vera juice and the icing sugar, a tablespoon of icing sugar, because it's the 1 pound batch. And here's my fragrance oil that I'm using. Here in this cup, I have my teaspoon of maple syrup, the sodium lactate, the breast milk and yogurt, and I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of chia seed gel. And there's my chia seed gel, and which of course has some water into it too. So I used 2 teaspoons and about half a cup of hot water, let it set for 24 hours. And I want to thank those ladies, soapers, who mentioned to me to try cheesecloth, because I hadn't tried cheesecloth. I've tried a knee-high, which worked but took a lot of work, took a lot of muscle power to squeeze. But what I did with the cheesecloth, I used 4 layers, and I warmed up the chia seeds, and then I put them into the cheesecloth, and I did have to squeeze, but I was able actually to get more gel off the seeds that way. And I want to thank you so much for whoever mentioned that to me, because I can't think the names right off the bat. I think it was a lady on a soaping group, and one on a video I had done as well. So thank you so much. And the other thing is, in the cheesecloth, even though at 4 layers some seeds did come through, I had used a strainer to catch that, but you were able to rub the cheesecloth on those jelly seeds once you had as much liquid squeezed as you could, and you were able to squeeze. I was able to get a lot of gel off the seeds that way. So just want to thank you so much. So I'm going to, this is heat transfer, and I'm going to mix my lye with my liquid, and I'll bring you back when I go to add that to this. So here I am adding my lye liquid with the icing sugar, and icing sugar, I've noticed, does leave the liquid cloudy. But this is about 204 degrees right now, and I'm just going to pour it all in there with my hard oils. And basically what I do with this, because people that do heat transfer do things differently. Everybody does in soaping, and that's an important thing to do what you're comfortable with and to do what works best for you. This actually works best for me, and I just stir this until it's all melted. And some people do use a stick blender, and I may, depending on how this how quick it melts. But I'm going to keep stirring this until it melts, and I'll bring you back when I add everything else. So I just wanted to show you that those hard oils are all melted, and I didn't use the stick blender. And now I'm going to add the soft oils, which are just room temperature. I'll give you the formula as well that I used. I'm using 20% butters, 10% of mango, and 10% of kokum in this. The other thing I wanted to say about chia seed gel was, I have found, for me personally, the way it boosts dense creamy lather is truly fabulous. I'm hoping it will do that in this at just a couple tablespoons, but before I've used ounces of it in soaps. So I'm just going to give that a quick burst before I add the rest of my stuff. Just getting those air bubbles out. And then I'm going to add the concoction I mentioned with the milk, yogurt, sodium lactate, chia seed gel, maple syrup. Remember to wear your safety gear and have a water source close by in case you get some on you to wash it off. bubbles in that this time. I'm not happy with that. Okay, so next I'm going to add the fragrance oil. It's supposed to be good in cold process soap. I'm hoping it will be. Chia seed gel certainly thickens things up quite fast. Hoping I'm going to have time to color this. It's worked well before this formula, so I'm hoping it'll work well today. Get as much off of here as I can. And with this design, the line pour, there's different ways you can do it. I really like it. And I usually always, when I have done it before, I've done it in a mold, but it definitely does work in ovals as well. I'm going to bang that just a bit to see if I can get those air bubbles out. Okay. So I'm going to have 3 colors, but the majority is going to be a white. I am using micas in this today and titanium dioxide. The micas are from Steph's Micas, and she actually has fabulous micas. And she has really good prices as well. So even though I do all natural soaps, what people would consider all natural, I do synthetics as well. I think those are about even, I guess. Just put a bit more in. Okay. I mix my micas with water. I find they work so much better, and I never mix my micas until when I'm making my soap. this fragrance actually discolors a bit, but I'm hoping it won't be too bad. Sorry to keep you waiting there. I should have shut that off while I mix these. All right, so how this works, where's my other, here we go. This is the line pour design, and I'm actually pouring mine into egg oval silicone molds, which look like this. So we'll see how this goes. So basically, you just, it would be like a in the pot swirl kind of, or layering your colors. And basically you just want to pour them down the side. Not a lover of cold process. Like I said, most of my soaps, whoops, messed up on that. And I'll just show you two ways I do it, and I'll finish the rest. And I'll post pictures of the cut and the formula. Basically, what you want to do is go in a thin line back and forth. So basically start it and see how that went. And I'll just add some more batter. And what I'll do is I'll just keep doing this until I get all the molds full. And these will set for probably 24 hours. And I'll unmold. So just back and forth. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again sometime.